Hi guys, and welcome to Cross Pest Control of Tampa's training videos. During these videos, we're going to be going over the applications used, how to apply the treatment, and customer expectations.
Alright, so we're going to do a training video on Core, Pro, and Elite. We're going to run through the Core, then we're going to add on what we do to the Pro, and then we're going to add on what we do to the Elite. So, starting with, these are our options for chemicals here. Okay, we got our Taurus, we got our Bifin, we got our granules, which we're using Bifin right now, but we also have Talstar. We got our Demand, we got our Teco Pro, we got our Boractin powder, which is an option to use. We don't use it every time. And then we have our cans, which we can use either the Taurus or the Bifin in. We also have our backpacks, which we're going to use for the Pro. So, starting out with the Core, every time we go to a Core plan, we are doing a exterior wrap and we're doing a granulation. Now, that also comes with a caveat. If you cannot do a granulation, there better be a reason for it. Like they have chickens going around, or there's no grass to do it in. If it's on a second story apartment, you can't granule. Things like that. But if we can, we're going to be granulating and doing an exterior wrap every single time. Okay? This goes for all the plans. Now, the first thing we're going to do, obviously, is we're going to talk to our customers. Okay? We're going to make sure there's nothing going on in the yard. We're going to make sure there's nothing going on in the house. Because we still do inside if they're having a problem. We're trying to do the IPM approach, but that comes with doing hotspots and treating inside with problems. Okay? So, Taurus can be used at full strength 2 times a year. If we're going out every month and doing a wrap, obviously we can't be using this every time. So we're going to have to switch to Bifin, or we do have a couple other options on the truck. But Taurus will be mixed in our sprayer can. We'll do a full perimeter wrap, a foot up, a foot out, just like we do on a normal roach and ant. Okay? Once we're done with that, we're going to take our hand spreader, we're going to take our granules, and our granules are 2.3 to 3.5 pounds per 1,000 square feet. Okay? So you have to kind of guesstimate that in your head, and you got to use the right amount. So we would go 5 to 6 feet out from the base of the building and do our wrap all the way around. And again, we're doing this each time. Then what we added to the Pro plan is German roaches and spider sweeps. Okay? So we're going to use our trusty spider pole here. What we can do with this is we use this all around the soffits of the house, the edges where we can reach with this. Okay? Now remember, we're not a cleaning service, we're pest control, so we're not going to get every single thing every single time, but we try and do our best. If they have a ginormous screened in pool, obviously we're not going to get all of that. We're going to get up the poles, we're going to get around the edges where we can. Now, what we can do with this is we can use our Boractin powder to supplement. So we can spray some around here and it'll leave a chemical residue or an application residue around where we sweep. Okay, so help combat the spiders, but as we know as pest control operators, it's a struggle sometimes to get rid of spiders. The main way to get rid of spiders is to get rid of their food. Okay, so we can do Boractin powder on here, or we could even use our can and spray Taurus on here, or Bifin. We can spray it on here and it'll leave a residue around. Okay, so Core, Pro. Core is a wrap and granules. A Pro is a wrap, granules, and a spider sweep. Okay? And then what we're adding to the Elite is the backpack. Okay? For mosquitoes. So for that, we're using Demand and Teco Pro. We're going to mix those in. A gallon, 2 gallons, whatever you think the size is. But remember, we are not treating a whole yard. So later in this video, you're going to see how big this yard is. We are not treating this whole thing. Back over here, we have an abandoned house, a whole lot that's overgrown. We're not treating that, okay, guys? We're treating 10 foot around the perimeter up to a 1/4 acre, okay? Now, we're trying to take care of our customers. So if you have a big tree that's 20 feet away from the house that we think a lot of mosquitoes might be coming from or something like that, let's treat it. Let's take care of it. Let's take care of our customers. But again, we're not treating the whole property unless they are paying for it. If they want the whole property treated, get paid for it. Start with, you really can start any way you want, but as long as you're getting everything done, that's fine. The way I start it is I start with my exterior wrap, okay? So Taurus, we're going a foot up, we're going a foot out. And again, this is for someone who doesn't have problems, okay? Everything's going good. But if a customer says, hey, I got ant piles, we got to do something a little bit different. Hey, I got a bee's nest up here. You know, these are the kinds of things you have to talk to your customers about and look while you're going, okay? We always want to get all the pipes, all the ins and outs, anywhere there could be a hole into the interior. We're doing our window seals. Coming all along here. Look at, see in here, holes. All utility boxes need to be, you don't want to go inside the utility box, but you going around them will help keep, mud daubers, will help keep infestations of ants and other insects from crawling in there and establishing a home, okay? So you always want to get all of that, all these wires, anything like that. Just always be careful around electricity. Okay, foot up, foot out. And then got starting some mess up here, so we'll get some of that. Foot up, foot out. Always be looking in front of you, making sure you're not stepping in anything, any landmines, anything like that. When we get up in the what are these called?
Shutters?
Shutters. We want to get up in the shutters. Alright, so we do that all the way around. Now, once we do all of that, we're going to do our next step, which is going to be our granules. Okay, so we'll go back to the truck. Okay, so our next step would be our granules. So we use our hand spreader. We have our settings here, 1 through 5. Now, this comes down to how much you want to put out and how fast you walk, okay? And how fast you turn the rotator. What you should start with is a 1. If you are going around and you see that you're not getting enough, you can always come back and do a little bit more. But start with 1. With the speed that I go at, 2 usually gets me what I need to do on the exterior of the outside, about 1,000 square feet per 2 pounds. If you have a big home, obviously you got to use a little bit more. But that's something you need to calibrate yourself, okay? Because everybody walks at a different speed, everybody walks at a different angle. All that stuff comes into play. Now, we're going to take the Bifin, which we're using right now. And I know what 2 pounds looks like, but we're only going to do a little bit right now, just to show. Okay, so like I said, you need to know your equipment. This has about a 10-foot spread on it, so you need to come out about 5 or 6 feet from the house, and that's where you go around. Okay, so all we're gonna do is you're gonna set it to what you want. I usually put it at 1 or 2, depends on how fast you're walking. And all we're doing, nice and easy, granulating. If you get to an area where you can't use the granules, just stop and walk past it and then continue what you're doing, okay? That incorporates everything that is needed every single time on the core plan, but that's not taken into account if a customer is having an issue with something. If they're having an issue with ants inside or roaches inside, you go and you treat that per specific problem, incident, whatever. And again, we're still using the IPM approach. It does not have to be chemical based. Now, let's say the customer is having a problem out here, okay? Now we know that this is outside of our 10-foot area that we're treating outside the home. But if they're just having one specific problem over there and their little baby girl loves to play in that area and is getting bit up by fire ants, I would like you guys to treat that. Now, if they have 10, 15, 20 fire ant mounds around this whole property, then we have to charge for a yard treatment, okay? get paid for your work, but also take care of your customer. Going from a core to a pro, we're incorporating this. And again, if we want to, take some powder and shake it up a little bit, real nice and easy. Just that's all that's needed, okay? So that way, when we're going along doing our spider sweep, we're actually putting out an application as well. Okay? Okay, so we're just gonna nice and easy go along. You know, you see a couple of, okay, nice and easy. You can even get up in there. And again, look how quick this is. It's not that hard. Oh, we gotta be right there. Let's take that down. Especially anywhere you have lights like that, you're gonna have spiders. Those lights are on at night, you're gonna have spiders, you're gonna have insects. And all we're doing, going along here, cleaning this up, nice, real easy. I don't have a pool cage here, but if we had a pool cage, we're at least getting the 4 posts on the corners, because that's mainly where your spiders are gonna go up, and you're gonna go all along the edge. This is an example of what a pool screen job would look like. Okay, so I've been to jobs where this looks like an ice cream cone afterwards with all the spider webs and spiders that are on here. If that is the case, go ahead and take your tourist can and spray afterwards to kill all those spiders and everything that's in there before you put it back in your truck. Okay? Now we move, excuse me, to the backpack. Okay? So we added the spider sweep. And now for the Elite, we have mosquitoes. Again, this yard is almost 2 acres, okay? We are not treating that unless that is what they're paying for. If they are doing a regular plan, doing 10 foot out. But we really want to try and get anything that we can, especially with this backpack. You move easy with it, it sprays easy. Take your time and do a thorough job. So we'll be using our Demand and our Teco. We're gonna go right here, we'll get it started. All right. So when we're working with mosquitoes, it's not really a yard treatment, right? We're spraying the foliage, in the bush, in the trees, in any dark space under the soffit that's away from the wind, that's out of the sunlight where a mosquito is gonna stay, okay? So. Alright, something like this, I gotta walk 10 feet to get to it, 15 feet to get to it, I'm gonna treat that. Anything over there, out of there, we know mosquitoes live in there, but again, we can't get everything. Okay? On this side of the house, we got a lot more trees and shrubs. So as you can see, this goes all the way down, but that's way past the house, okay? So but this is close to the house, so we need to take care of all of this.
Alright guys, that's going to wrap it up for this IPM video. If you do have any questions about what you've seen, definitely let us know. We do want to make sure that we're doing the granules on the outside each time. Want to make sure we're doing spider sweeps, anything we can to make sure that that customer is not going to have any kind of bugs or future problems. If you do have questions, as I said, let us know. If not, see you on the next one.